Welcome to the Deucecast Extra. We are here on a Tuesday night, as we have been for weeks on end, to talk about some Star Wars. As you can see, we're down a couple. Garrison is unavailable this evening, so
What?
we've given Garrison.
He's got all the knowledge.
I know we've given Garrison the night off. Rhett will be on the show, but he's running a little bit late. To kill some time, I did want to talk about Shazam. Now, the reason that we're going to be doing that is because we're not doing a Shazam roundtable on Thursday as promised a couple weeks ago. A bunch of us want to go see some John Wick 4. I mean, it's got 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's a 3-hour epic. I'm pumped.
Is it really?
Yes, I am so pumped
Never
about
heard of it.
John Wick 4. So let's talk a little Shazam.
No,
First of all,
that's too long for that movie.
of course, we've got Roth from Wyoming. How you doing, buddy?
Woo!
Good. Thanks for having me. A little World Baseball Classic. Sports are just always on.
Sports are always, they never end, do they?
No,
There's
never
always
end.
a sport on. It doesn't matter, in the world somewhere a sport is being played. So,
That's very true.
go United States.
Yes.
That's right, Matt Mick. Get wicked. Come on, get wicked, Earl.
Get wicked.
No, it's get wicked. Dr. Earl, how's your week been, buddy?
Well, we're only about 2 days in.
Since the last episode.
Oh, right.
How has
right,
the week
right.
been since last one? Come on.
It's been really.
This is not difficult.
It's been eventful. It's been emotional. There's a lot of stuff going on in my life, but it's okay.
Because of Shazam.
Because of Shazam. Exactly.
That's part of it. Yes.
Yeah,
Shazam.
because of Shazam.
Shazam is taking me to the heights.
Oh, I see what you did there. No, that's wrong. No. Taking you to the
Shazamly is back.
Yeah, the Shazamly, yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Oh, Matt Meek likes your vest, Dr.
Oh, yeah, man.
Look, that's some good
popping
affirmation.
my collar since I was something.
Wow. All right, so let's talk Shazam Fury of the Gods very briefly. This is just, overall thoughts, no spoilers. There's probably people that haven't gotten a chance to see it. So, Roth, just like overall, what was your feeling as you stepped out of that movie theater?
Yeah, I mean, as I stepped out, well, I'm going to exclude the post-credit scenes from my feelings. Because the post-credit scenes made me go, what?
Right.
That's fair. That's fair.
When the actual movie ended and the credits started to roll, I was like, that was fun. I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
It was dumb. It was like really dumb.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a lot of fun. And it's not nearly as good as the first one, I don't think. I haven't seen the first one in a long time. Probably since it came out in theaters. But
right.
It was a good time. And there's one little issue that I had with, I think Zachary Levi was playing Shazam a little too kid-like.
That seems to be the consensus,
Because when we saw Billy Batson, the kid, he seemed so mature.
Yeah, it was like 18 almost.
Yeah, but like not even that. But like I'm talking about like how he carried himself.
That's true.
And like how he acted, and like when he was like a kid, he seemed to be making better decisions when he was than when he was a superhero. And shouldn't those decisions stay pretty similar?
You would think so if I understand the Shazam of it all.
Yeah.
So yeah, you would think so. What about you, Dr. Earl? How did you feel as you stepped out of that theater?
I had a great time with that movie. And I think because my bar was not set very high. Yep. And honestly, I feel like the trailers, the ads leading up to it did it a little disservice because you thought, well, this is going to be hokey jokes. It's going to be kind of stupid. And honestly, I mean, the villains were menacing.
Yeah.
The family dynamic and the heart that you had in the first movie, you still connected here.
Yeah. Even more now, I think. Even more in this one.
I mean, and not all the jokes landed, but I think a lot of them, some of them did. Some of them really got me to laugh out loud. And I do think Zachary Levi, like, he carries the movie, but I do get that he does play it almost too young, like maybe that fit better with the first movie. I feel like what's the actor that plays Billy Batson, like Asher or something?
Ash or something. Yeah,
I feel like he's a guy that
Asher Angel
that like doesn't want to.
What a name!
It's like he's in that teenage age of like, I want to be cool and I'm not gonna play a kid again, and you know what I mean?
Well,
like
that's the character though.
I liked his performance though.
I did. I
thought
he was.
There wasn't enough of him, honestly.
There was not very much.
And the other kid, Jack Michael Glazer or whatever.
I think he's going to have a bit of a more career than.
I think he was great.
I think he's good.
I don't know if we want to get into all the specifics.
No, we don't.
I liked a lot of the family. I mean, the one who played Mary Marvel. What's her name in the movie? I don't even know.
I can't remember all the names.
She did fine.
Mary Bromfield,
but she did
Grace
fine.
Caroline Curry.
Yeah, she was good. I mean, I really thought Ziegler did good. Rachel Ziegler did great as Amara or whatever her name was. I mean, I think it was just a lot of fun. Like, I think I even said on the Deucecast that maybe I like this more than Ant-Man, which is.
You mean the episode that releases tomorrow?
Oh, spoiler alert! Get the scoop now.
That you said maybe I said that.
That's you did say maybe.
That's a professional tease.
I may not have said that. I don't know. Maybe I like Ant-Man better. Listen to the Deucecast to find
tomorrow.
out.
Yeah, that's your stinger. That's the reason you want to hear how Dr. Earl really feels about Ant-Man versus Shazam.
I said it pre-show when Rachel Zegler showed up. I was shocked. I had no idea she was in the movie.
That surprises me. So you must not have seen any of the. No, you. How could you? Have
I literally did. I forgot.
I think I maybe saw the first trailer and then I hadn't even thought about it.
She wasn't in that first trailer. Yeah.
Yes, she was. I think she was.
I don't think so either because that's the first time I'd ever seen her.
Well, okay, so I knew she was in the film, but I certainly did not know the lore of the character. I know a lot of DC people automatically knew the lore of the character when they said the name of the character, but I had no idea like her connection to other people in the film. I just thought she was some one-off, like I didn't know who she was. But this was much more of an ensemble piece compared to the first one, and I think that actually benefited it quite a bit because
I think so.
I just think you got to see more of Adam Brody doing stuff. You got to he had his own story going on a little bit. I mean, and so that was fun. Captain, what was he calling himself? Like everything Every power. Yeah, that was pretty funny. And I like Adam Brody, so I was all for that. But so yeah, I mean, it was really fun. I mean, it's unfortunate the state that the DC universe is in, that we don't know if we'll ever see Shazam again.
Because now I love the Shazam character.
Yeah, just in general, it's a fun character. Yeah, and I think that they could cross that character over in a lot of different ways, in different things. Now they alluded to some of that in one of the post-credit scenes, but who knows if that'll ever happen. So we'll see.
Sort of a James Gunn potential connection.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a little bit of one. So we'll see.
It surprised me with some of the interconnectivity that it had as well.
Yes, yeah, they were very intentional with that, obviously. But who knows? Who knows what James is going to do? James Gunn and Peter Safran, they've got the reins. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean, look, if you're into Zachary Levi and Shazam and stuff, it's a fun one. It's you're not wasting your money if you go see it at all.
No, I think it's a great family comic book hero movie.
And that was something, in fact, Zachary Levi himself has said on social media, which he's probably too much on social media right now.
Shut up, Garrison. Go to bed.
Yeah. wait. We got. I knew she was in.
Was she? I don't think she was in that first one.
She was in trailer.
Because he's like family. There was that scene with
Garrison would know that. I knew from the beginning that she was going to be, but whatever. It's all good.
Right. I'm going to go find that first trailer and I will show you.
Yeah. So whatever. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, I hope that a couple of the people that we see in this film will continue in the Gunn universe.
I hope so.
The Gunniverse, if you will. So we'll see. I don't know. I don't even know what.
throw some praise. Helen Mirren's Dame Helen Mirren's way as
Yes,
well.
no, she was
really
great.
good.
And even Lucy Liu was pretty menacing. I mean, I think Helen Mirren was a more dynamic character, but the Lucy Liu character, and look, the CG to me was really good. I mean,
I didn't have any problems with it. Yeah.
I thought it was better in some ways.
Let's not say flawless,
well,
but I mean,
there was like maybe one, maybe two scenes of like super fast flying action that I was like, okay, that looked a little bit off, but like it's better than like most of the Marvel crap that we've seen in the last year.
Yeah. That's true. No, you're right.
I couldn't tell they were in front of the volume ever. So
no, you could not see the volume in this one. All right, well, let us dive into Bad Batch Season 2, Episode 13, Pabu.
Pabu.
My goodness.
It's a vacation time.
Yes.
They need a vacation.
Good. Rhett's here just in time for Bad Batch. Because he has so much to input.
Did you want to ask him about the Shazam?
No, I don't want to ask him about Shazam.
Hang on.
He's just
hang on. I'm having an audio problem. I'll be back. Hang on.
Okay, he's having audio problems.
You can't hear us? Or?
Okay, I'm going to remove him then if he's having audio problems. So let's dive into Pabu. I did want to shout out a couple of things for you Rebels fans out there. Steve Bloom was voiced Lance Crowder, the old guy, Mr. Inta, and random villagers. Rhett, just give me a thumbs up if you want me to bring you back in. Because I obviously can't hear you right now, so give me a thumbs up.
How will he test if it's working and if he's not on our?
He just has to give me a thumbs up if he wants to come back in. No, he's gone now. He's gone all day. He's not even done. So Steve Bloom, if you didn't know, he voiced Zeb in Rebels, and Steve Bloom actually came to a local Comic-Con here in Birmingham while he was on Rebels. So yes, he did. Do you remember Dr. Earl?
Which one?
That random group of guys that had the Good Morning Tatooine or Good Morning Star. Yep. So he was there, kind of like with those guys, and they were interviewing him quite a bit, and there was some funny stuff that came from some of those interviews. But I like Steve Bloom a lot. I think he's a really good ambassador for Star Wars. And it was cool finding out that he was a voice in this episode. Also, a person named Andy Allo. She has been in a bunch of stuff. If you look in her IMDb profile, she's also a screen actress as well as a voice actress. So she does a lot of stuff. Was on some hit show apparently that I never saw that was on Amazon Prime. And then somebody named Imari Williams. He is also a very prolific voice actor. If you look at his IMDb profile, so Andy played Liana Hazard, the little girl that was friends with Omega.
That was in a Hazard when they got out of the water.
Shep Hazard, which was the dad, was voiced by
he looks to be a big anime.
Yeah, big time anime.
Demon Slayer, the movie.
Yeah, huge, a lot of stuff. Ted, what's up, buddy? Thanks for joining us this evening, my friend. So let's dive into the episode. This was sort of again, some more character development for.
It was a respite.
Omega.
Yeah.
Omega. She was because
was it?
She never had a childhood, so she's still trying to make friends with people and have a normal life, and that's really, to me, it kind of feels like that's all Hunter kind of wants for her is for her to just have a normal life. Like he doesn't want her to be out on all these adventures with them. Unfortunately, at least in my opinion, Fee was back. Wanda Sykes' character.
I have, as my first note, I said so far at the start of this episode, Wanda Sykes is much more likable than normal.
That's true. Okay, you're right.
She's playing it down.
She's playing it down.
And I don't know if it was just because she was juxtaposed against Sid or what, but I didn't have a problem with her at all this episode.
No, I kind of agree with that.
I kind of agree with that.
She's not doing her normal sort of what I'd call her sassy,
loud,
sassy comedian.
Yeah, and it's
she's playing a character, so she
could be a little bit of a problem as well because it's just complete. It's I think it's very inconsistent with the character that we've gotten
thus far.
Now she's kind of
seemed like it was turned on a dime. Like, oh, I'm super nice, and we never really got that.
I want to care about Omega.
And then she was even sort of warning them, anybody that's ever crossed Sid before, things haven't ended well for them. And so that's even more like the show telling us that Sid's not a good person. I mean, we've kind of figured that out on our own, but also they're telling us, look, Sid's not to be trusted.
She's a Trandoshan, isn't she?
She's a Trandoshan, and usually, like, look,
you can't trust them.
You can't trust a Trandoshan. I mean, that's generally what
3-2. Schwarber just hit a bomb.
Oh, sweet. So the U.S. is back up.
No, they're down 1, but
they're down 1.
3-2.
Oh, 3-2 now.
Yep.
What inning? What inning is it?
Top of 8.
Oh no. Okay.
Trey Turner's up, Captain America.
We're running out of time. Though.
Hey, there's no time limit in baseball.
No, I know, but we're running out of innings, I guess.
For
is
sure.
What I should say.
For sure. Running out of outs.
Sorry.
5 outs.
Come on, America. Come on.
5 outs.
Come on, America. But beat those Japanese. Like, okay. Anyways.
That was a bomb from Schwarber.
A Schwarbomb is what Matt is calling it. A Schwarbomb.
That's a Schwarbomb.
Baseball talk. So yeah, this was an interesting planet that they were on. I guess they kind of alluded to that the Empire doesn't bother with them much because they're so inconsequential. I think the main dad character kind of mentioned that. Okay, Rhett's going to try again. Rhett is trying.
Can you hear us?
Yeah,
can you hear us?
Yeah, I could. I was hearing you out of the wrong speakers, and I had.
Okay.
But
you don't want to hear us out of the wrong speakers.
No. I need it.
It'd be a bad
the right spot, or it's totally intolerable.
This is the product you want to hear. This is the content you want to hear.
Yeah.
The Bad Batch.
We were talking about Shazam. I think is that right?
We had tried to move on from Shazam, but we've tried
give us your hot
take. Go ahead.
We've
go
all
ahead.
said our,
Give us your.
I thought it was fine. It was one of the more enjoyable DCEU movies I've seen. So
what's happening?
No, it's right. No,
it was just
fine. It was. Yeah. I mean, it didn't blow me away. It was it's middle of the road. It knew what it was. There was no glaring nonsense like inconsistencies.
Right.
It's fun cast.
Yeah.
I mean, it family fare. I think it's probably being mismarketed. I think if it were marketed more at families, it would do better.
Yeah.
I think DC. I think Warner Brothers has forgotten it. I think the planet has forgotten it. They don't care about those movies anymore until the
far better family DC movie than Super Pets.
Yes. Yeah. Much better than Super Pets.
I didn't see Super Pets.
We don't have to dwell on it. I know you guys have talked about it, but I enjoyed it.
No,
I didn't feel like I was wasting my time. I wasn't angry at it when I left. Like I
That's
am,
good.
A lot of Marvel movies.
90% of movies.
And one thing that we forgot to mention earlier, the creature design was pretty cool, actually, on all like the monsters and stuff.
It was a little low res, I think. I didn't catch a lot of the detail. Like at the end, he made the comment that it was made out of wood. Like that dragon was like, oh, it's so cool, it's made out of wood or whatever. I didn't know that until then. It didn't stick out. I will say the one thing that takes me out of it a little bit is I think there's a disconnect between young Billy Batson and the older. I think the older they don't act like the same person.
Right.
And the older Shazam acts younger than the younger Billy Batson.
Is there an echo in here? That's what I said too. I agree completely.
It's fun. It doesn't ruin the experience, but I think I would like to see a better connection between those two actors. But other than that, it's delightfully fine.
Yeah. I mean, as far as we know, they were never in the same room together. Ever.
Right? Yeah, that's true.
They could have never, never actually had any chemistry on set. They could have just never. No,
so,
I don't know.
But anyway, that's all. I'm sorry to distract.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
It's all right.
I mean, fortunately, Pabu, there's not much to talk about because not much happened.
Okay.
Now, Brian makes a good point. This is the type of episode that I was waiting on something to happen, like something. Now, something sort of did happen, but I was waiting for more like
we had a hurricane
stuff from outside of the planet. Like I was waiting for the Empire or somebody to show up. Like I thought something more was going to happen here.
This was a natural disaster episode, Red.
It was. It was a natural disaster episode.
They were on vacation.
Yes.
It was like The Impossible.
The Impossible.
Is that
good reference? The tsunami.
The tsunami movie.
With Ewan McGregor's in that one.
So the little girl
and a young Tom Holland.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's like his first role.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, okay.
Is the
Never
Impossible.
saw it.
I just happened to catch like a scene of it running, of him running, and I said, "Is that Tom Holland?" I never realized that.
It is Tom Holland in that.
He's shooting web out of his hands. Doctor was like, I swear that's Tom Holland.
It reminds me of someone.
Yeah, I just don't know, but yeah, I mean, this was again just some more like character stuff for Omega. I mean, and not much more happened other than that. I mean,
the basic plot was Omega found a buddy. They got out in the ocean, and all of a sudden, all the water pulled back because this big wave was going to come against this sort of, I don't know, Grease-like community.
Grease lightning?
Not Grease lightning. Grease.
Like GREECE.
It looked like Grease on the shore of the Mediterranean or something.
Right. It was very Mediterranean looking. Yeah, you're right.
Yes. I mean, and so, or it looked kind of almost like what's the Minas Tirith and Return of the King? Like it had like levels and layers. Yeah, a little Minas Tirith reference, huh?
That's a Tolkien word.
Yeah.
Tolkien word for sure. Yeah, I mean, and like I had put Brian's comment in it, but yeah, I mean, I think like Hunter kind of just wants her out of
to leave her.
Well, just out of danger. Like,
like
he's worried for her safety constantly, and it keeps him from being his best self. I think he's constantly distracted by like what she's doing. So that's why all these missions that they keep going on keep failing miserably, because he's always worried about what's going on with her, and he's not able to take that leadership role.
This has been weird. Like the first season really focused on Hunter and Omega, and then she started kind of hanging out a little bit with Wrecker.
And Tech
this season, season, it's been all Tech.
Mostly,
She's hanging out with Tech, trying to understand him.
Right.
And then Hunter's kind of been in the background. Like he has. They'll show him looking around, but he's not been like a very strong. I don't know why. I mean, it's just interesting.
Yeah, the writing's been a little interesting.
I mean, I like the Tech stuff.
They have put him in the background. I think they've also made Wrecker more dumb. Like he just seems
he keeps getting dumber and dumber.
He's like, I'm so full. Like talking about
this never happened.
This never happened.
I ate all the food.
Well, I will put this in a calendar to mark it as a momentous occasion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
This was a time I could relax.
Oh man, Ted laying it out here. Omega keeps the show from being its best. Tired of the Wolf Cub theme in Star Wars.
Wow, Ted.
Oh, man,
he's not a Bad Batch guy.
It's okay. Hey, look,
Omega.
Not every show has to be for everyone.
Rekka.
That's why Rhett doesn't even watch the Bad Batch. Look, you have missed some really good Crosshair episodes.
The last episode was.
He's not even like really supposed to be the main.
You've missed like 8 really good episodes of television in this like 40 episode.
Yeah, right.
Look, technically, we've only got 2 more weeks of it left. So
I'm contemplating a full Clone Wars rewatch, though.
Oh,
maybe going into Rebels, because I'm trying to prep for. Ahsoka. I know there's going to be a lot of
there will be
guy in it.
They're not going to do that. Are you just talking?
Yeah, Sabine will be in it.
Sabine. Yeah. We'll get some Thrawn at the end of the show.
Yeah,
which will we?
Sabine. That would probably be Sabina if the writers knew how to pronounce even the words that they write.
I know.
But it's not. They obviously do it wrong. But it's probably supposed to be Sabina.
It's either Sabina or Sabine. There's no
Sabine. Well, Sabina is a real word.
If
you remember those Overstock commercials from several years ago, there was a lady who was their spokesperson. Her name was Sabina, and it's spelled the same way.
Huh.
I think she just forgot the R.
I think she did just forget
Sabine is the name of the character.
Anyways, yes, Sabine is the name of the character. Exactly.
Because Filoni said it is supposed to be Sabine.
Oh, it's fine.
I think Rebels is a pretty easy watch, Rhett, for when you get there.
I think it is.
4 seasons.
Rebels.
They definitely do
rewatch Clone Wars. Really,
they do.
How many episodes? It's not like a 24, is it? It's like a 10.
Not every season. It's super inconsistent. It was on Disney XD, and at a time when they didn't really know what was happening. I think.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's fine. There's a lot of stuff that I wish they had never brought into Star Wars. Like
77 episodes total.
I know people are huge fans of the World Between Worlds, but it's not a thing in Star Wars that I ever wanted to see happen.
I never liked it, going all the way back to Legends. I didn't like the the mysticism that they got involved with, where I mean, I know the Force and all, but like, first of all, the Force power is ramped up too big in Legends.
Especially in Legends,
the holocrons and all these, bestowing special powers and all this old legacy stuff. I didn't like that, and I didn't like when it started creeping into Clone Wars either. I enjoyed the early Clone Wars that was more the military side of things. Very tactical. It had a sense of geography, and it had a sense of you could almost kind of see the plan, like the military plans. It kind of worked. It was. I enjoyed that, and as the mysticism started creeping in, all these,
the Night Sisters,
all that stuff. That's more fantasy. And I know what Star Wars is. I get it, but I like the fantasy elements of Star Wars less than I like kind of the space opera stuff.
Space opera stuff, yeah.
And
that's fair.
So that's that's what has there's a little bit of that in Mandalorian, I think, and I won't cut ahead too much, but even just the dark saber and it reacting to different people like that, to me, that's not the Star Wars kind of that we had in the. Right. Well, that's what I know. Because I know there's a lot of that.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of the mystic stuff. Yeah.
It goes 14, 22, 22, 15.
Yeah.
14. 14.
When I talk about not watching Clone Wars, it's not because they're cartoons. That's just a bit.
I know.
I really don't love the fantasy side of it, that mysticism. I think it's ungodly and unchristian. And
we've got two takes here. We've got we've got an opposing take. Rebels is still the peak of Disney Star Wars.
He's right.
Wow,
he's right.
A lot of people like people who love it.
It's strong.
And,
I do.
Yeah.
I do think it's very strong.
Resistance.
Well, wait a minute now. The peak
for me. So
no, it's not.
I think.
Look, if you're going to be a completist.
No, Resistance.
I still haven't even seen Resistance. I can't get through it. I can't get through the first episode.
It's not
I watched the first episode, and then that was it.
I think the overarching story of Rebels is some of the strongest Disney storytelling.
There's some good storytelling for sure. Yeah.
And there's some episodes here and there that's like, okay, let's get the ball rolling here. But again, they're like
they do the
22-minute
Filoni
episodes,
thing,
25-minute episodes. So
Brian is so right, and I'd forgotten about this. I mean, the different Rhett, are you?
What did he just do there?
Just shotgun whatever that was.
I liked
a Mexican soda.
Drinking it, and I was like, "Oh, this is pretty good." So I drank the whole thing.
Different blaster noises.
Was that a Mexican soda?
It is. Yeah. It's
Jarritos
pulp. It's peach pulp beverage from Boing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Boing.
Wow.
Get this at the local
Get some fluids,
Mexican
bro.
grocery store.
Oh man,
Mi Pueblo is what we call it.
Mi Pueblo.
Mi Pueblo.
So yeah, I mean, unless we have anything else to say about Pabu, we can move on to Mandalorian. I mean, there really wasn't much that happened.
Well, they
in the
saved
episode.
people. They moved them all to the high ground.
Yeah, nobody died. I mean,
nobody died.
They're allegedly going to stay for a while. That's probably not true.
We'll stay for a while.
Right.
Whatever they say.
There was one disappointing moment animation wise.
What's that?
When I can't remember, I think it was Tech and what's her face were staring off over the island, and Fee, Wanda Sykes' character, and the sun was setting, and she's like, "Just wait for it." And it was just all the lights coming on. There weren't that many lights, and it wasn't that cool.
Oh, it wasn't.
I
that
was like,
spectacular.
that was very underwhelming. I was waiting for like a green flash or something.
I was enchanted by the lights coming on.
They were like 20 lights.
Yeah.
It was...
Next episode, Revenge of the Sid. Oh, maybe.
Is that really the name of the episode now?
No, it's not. It's.
I would love it if it was.
It's like Tipping Point or something is the name of the next one. So
yeah. Oh, okay, it's going to be a hot one.
It's going to be a big episode.
It's going to be a big
Tipping
episode.
Point, then the Summit. Then
well, yeah, because technically this is the penultimate.
Plan 99.
Because the last two episodes are sort of together. Because there's
so
only 2 more weeks of this left.
Don't you think Crosshair is going to eventually rejoin them?
Oh yeah, I think that's what we're leading to now, especially. Yeah, I mean, if he can escape from where he's
been
at.
disillusioned from with that whole situation Okay.
He's captured by the cloners right now, though, so we'll see.
With that guy with the fuzzy collar. Oh, you just whatever that guy was.
That's my Dexter Jester.
The loners.
All right, let's move on to
Depends how
Mandalorian
your books are.
chapter 10. Nice, I like that. Sorry, I was talking over that. I was talking over. So chapter 19, the convert.
You want a Jawa juice, honey?
Stop it. Oh my god!
Wow, I have not seen that scene in forever because I just can't.
I know it's been a long time.
Can't sit through Attack of the Clones.
It's been a long time since I've.
It's been a long time.
Sat
I like
through.
the movie.
Huh?
I just discovered today that I've seen Ghostbusters 2016 more times than Rise of Skywalker.
I think that's
it's very telling. It's very telling.
I don't know what to make of that. So this was an excellent episode because it's
wait.
Which one are we jumping into?
Yeah, I think he's talking about Mando.
I heard they let a few critics see this episode, and all the Doctor stuff was left out.
So it was like 12 minutes.
3 minutes.
Oh, the beginning, the very beginning.
Interesting. Oh, well, so they just put the beginning and the end together and made. That's weird that they left all the.
We didn't
Doctor
even
stuff.
talk about the very beginning of the Bad Batch episode. I know we're not going back, but there
We're
was
not
that.
going back.
Okay.
Never go back.
You can go
No,
back.
go ahead.
Apparently, no. Apparently, it was based off the beginning of Temple of Doom when they were in the that Asian club.
Yeah.
And if you look at the Arabesh, it says Lo Chow.
Oh
so
my
it's,
gosh, that's a bit much Star Wars.
No, this guy translated the Arabesh.
No,
that I was watching.
and I understand that that's a good Easter egg, but I mean that's.
Wait, what part?
The only thing that was missing then was the big gong rolling down. If they were trying to really show the beginning of Temple, is it? Yeah, exactly. But no, I did feel that. Yeah, the beginning of the Bad Batch episode was very.
There was like a little idol.
Did they not?
And they were like doing a negotiation, and then they were all around them, like with the guns, and it just went.
I don't even remember how this episode started. I guess I thought it just started with them on the ship.
No, they were at the. They were.
No, wait, we're talking Bad Batch right now.
We're talking Bad Batch. They were looking for that idol thing.
They were in some bar.
They were in a bar.
And there was a negotiation.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
And then, but they were all surrounding. Okay, we can go back to Mando.
I'm with you now. I'm with you now. Okay.
Back to Mando. I just remember. I was like, "There's something else that happened." Okay, so
let's just go like through the episode kind of in chronological order because there's not much that happened, but there was a lot that happened. I mean, there was a lot, but not much. I mean, really. Some really good fight scenes at the beginning, like space, like with the TIE interceptors, who we're not sure like whose TIE interceptors those are. A lot of speculation online is that they're Thrawns, but
I disagree heavily.
I don't know.
They say that their warlords have taken the ships or something. I guess is that right? Like since the Empire fell?
Yeah. I mean, that's all it is. That's all that the remnants of the Empire is just a bunch of different warlords right now.
She mentioned that she had upset a bunch of different warlords, so
that's what it was.
Right.
Oh, you don't think it's Thrawn, Jacob?
I mean, I don't think it's Thrawn. I think it's
Mephisto.
Gideon.
Yeah, I think it's either Gideon himself or it's Gideon's people.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, look, Gideon still got he's still got his hands in everything. Obviously, I mean, he's deep, like he's infiltrated the Amnesty group basically at this point.
There was a line that probably is easily missed about him escaping at some point too. The rumor, cover the rumor that he escaped. And,
there was like speculation that what the heck was that? Sorry, something fell. Oh, I see what it is. Okay.
His home is collapsing.
Poltergeist, Michael.
My gosh, I was like, what the heck? I'm just trying to get to that character's name because she's pivotal, obviously.
You're talking about Elia Kane, or
Elia. Yeah, she's pivotal.
She was on his crew, right?
But I don't want to skip ahead too much to that.
You're jumping, man. You're jumping.
Yeah, I know we're jumping. I mean, because the first part of the episode's kind of important, I guess, in the grand scheme of things, because now we've got Bo-Katan as part of that covert. Covert, right?
Well,
covert.
yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
Covert.
when they come out of the water, she's like, "Did you see that animal?" And he's like, "No, I don't know what you're talking about." And she's like,
"Did you see
holding
something
that
alive?
close to the vest?"
Yeah.
So why did he pass out?
Because he's an idiot. I was about to say this. Din Djarin is not smart. He's kind of dumb.
Falling, I get, but why pass out? It's a contrivance so that
he's drowning.
The mythosaur. That's all that is. Like, there's no explanation for him passing out. So it's just
a super fast change in depth.
The pressure.
Faster than that. She was.
Yeah, but she was prepared for it. She put her helmet on the right setting with the jetpack.
I'm
it's
sure
science, Red, and I know that
there's an intern that's listening to you and like, I got to put that in a DK book. It's gonna be shat out in a few weeks.
Yeah, her helmet was fully pressurized.
I can come up with an excuse for anything.
Yeah.
No, I agree with Roth. Her helmet was pressurized, whereas Din's was not. Din had no. He did not.
Din thought he was just going to walk out and do a dunk, right?
He's the only one in the show so far who has made a point specifically to say, "I've just pressurized my helmet."
Right.
Yes, so then he unpressurizes it to drink the soup.
He's just thinking he's going to do a nice little walkout, get down,
it's just
baptize himself.
The point is, that was so and it is a relevant plot point. It's so she's the only one who saw the thing.
Right.
It's very relevant because now she's keeping that close to the vest.
Correct.
For whatever
but it
reasons.
is a contrivance from a writing standpoint because there's no explanation for it other than that they want her to be the only one to see it. So
because that'll be the thing that'll help her unite the Mandalorians of the future, right? That'll be the spark that will set the fire. That will.
Yes,
that's another thing.
No, I think she is. I think she wants to ride the mythosaur so she can get that dark saber back.
They rode the great mythosaur.
Look, ride the mythosaur is a new euphemism I'm going to use.
I would also like to ride the mythosaur.
Ride the old mythosaur, do you?
Try that one on the wifey.
That's right. Yeah, he thought he was just going to be sprinkled, and he got dunked. Exactly.
Yes, that's right.
He was they're not Methodists. They're Baptists.
Yeah.
Exactly. Look, Ted,
baptism.
Ted's might be trying to be funny, but yes, exactly.
No, I think it's going to happen, Ted. I totally think it's going to happen.
Have you guys ever seen the videos of the Eastern Orthodox baby baptisms? You're going to have to look up the videos because they are... And they're just really dunking them.
They dunk the babies.
Oh, yeah.
If the child
survives, like that current meme that's going around where it has the swimming coach just push the kid into the pool. Have you seen that one that's going around right now?
Hey, that's what my coach did.
It's like the equivalent to the Turkish ice cream dealers, is what the Eastern Orthodox priests do to the babies.
Oh, Turkish ice cream dealers.
You know what I'm talking about when they don't give them the ice cream?
They pull it back.
Yeah, they pull it back.
Oh, okay. I see.
They've not flown enough Turkish air to know that.
You guys are not world travelers like Earl.
You got me.
Yep, you win.
It's a great airline. I'll be honest.
So, do you think that Bo-Katan has actually bought into all this, or is this just her way of getting everybody to trust her? So she can ride the mythosaur and rule all these idiots.
So
in her mind.
I don't think she's fully bought in, but I think she's like, wait,
this can unite.
I kind of like this, and
there was no downside to her accepting entry into that. I mean, she can walk away, take her helmet off whenever she wants. But it was some camaraderie. She was alone. She had that big house.
Her castle's been blown up. Yeah,
now it has. Yeah,
like it was a surprise to her. So rather than what else would she have done? Protest? Be like, no, I don't want in your silly cult.
Yeah,
well, no, you do it, and because there's no downside to it, she can come and go as she pleases. So,
and she's trying to build this army of Mandalorians, right?
They did very purposefully do a soft pause on Vizsla for a second towards the end of that part. Happy. So there's something going on with him too. He's not a happy camper.
Yeah, what's that?
He wants to be the leader.
Well, he's got the name, right? Because
he does. Vizsla. If they start going through the family thing,
the great Mandalore was Sorry, it's my quill.
Wait, the covert. What are you saying here, Brian? The armor and Paz Viz are not going to let go of the covert easily. Okay.
Like
of the cohort of the covert.
Well,
cohort's a much better word, but they do say covert, and it's not good. Like it's almost like they want to say coven. They're like they're not witches,
but they don't want to. Yeah,
covert. I mean, I guess it's a real word, but
yeah,
it's such an uncommon usage that of it. Covert. I mean, they're hidden, right? So that's what
it's hidden. Yeah.
But yeah, you make a good point though, Earl. Like Vizsla is a very powerful name in the Mandalorian history, so I think he does have. He wants to rule the throne. He wants to take the Game of Thrones.
He wants the saber, right?
Now that Katan's in, she's gonna try some stuff. And I wish they would have kept going with that episode instead of jumping to Coruscant because.
Well, and one more point here. Brian says that the armor and Paz Viz are going to have a problem, but I don't think the armor. I think the armor is probably going to listen.
Yeah,
because
she doesn't want to be the leader either.
Yeah, well, we didn't focus on her as being particularly negative about any of it, but we did him, and so I think she will be a calming influence and listen to what Bo-Katan has to say, and then Paz will come in and screw all of that up. That's more likely, I think.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. I think that's probably more likely. So,
now the perils of Dr. Pershing.
Did any of you care about Dr. Pershing before this episode?
I care. No,
I was intrigued by Dr. Pershing. I didn't want to see all this.
Did he need his own episode? Basically, I mean,
look,
well,
you guys are going to fight me on it, and I just
go ahead. No, go ahead.
When you say you didn't need all that, you don't need any of it. What you're feeling and what I think you felt is that it wasn't very good. His story, he may have a good story.
Yeah.
There may be you may be able to look at Coruscant and the state of the New Republic and it be interesting and good.
Sure.
It's not what we didn't need what we got. And it wasn't Dr. Pershing's fault. It's the show's fault for being for being mediocre. I mean, really, like
this episode for sure.
This episode for sure. Yeah.
I'm not going to go crazy about it this week because, frankly, this is the episode I liked of all three so far. I liked more. At least I came out of it with something to talk about.
I mean, I was intrigued by it a little bit,
but
no, and I think there's stuff to talk about with it because the New Republic is basically the Empire. I mean, it hasn't changed much. They're still like a totalitarian.
Which I kind of have a problem with, but
I'm not sure they're totalitarian, are they?
Yeah, they are. They're kind of depicting them that way.
Here are the relevant pieces to it. So you had the glitterati of Coruscant. They're the same.
Wealth.
Nothing's ever. They don't care who's in charge.
They were during
the 1%ers.
That's what they were on the old in the Republic, and that's what they are in the Republic. They don't care. They're untouchable.
Who's in charge?
Right? Yeah, they're untouchable. Exactly.
But the New Republic, the way they first, there's a lot to cover, and I'm going to do my best here.
Do it. No. We got time.
Coruscant is another case of the budget creeping in. Coruscant is too sparsely populated. Okay. Yeah. First of all, a billion people is way too low. Way too low.
A trillion?
It should probably be a 90 trillion based on 500. If you compare it to Earth, the diameters are about the same.
Did you get that in a DK book?
I did the math.
And it's all city.
527 levels.
Yeah.
Okay?
They did say that.
That's high.
Right.
That's dense. If you look at Earth, the most densely populated places, there are a couple of little places in China over the years, and they're like 20,000 people per square meter, okay, or not meter, per square kilometer, and that's not a trillion is like a few people per square kilometer, okay. It's nowhere close to big enough. And then when
we
you
need more people crawling all over each other,
it's not reflective of this citywide massive, hub of activity, but that's limitations of budget, and that's okay.
Roth, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Roth, did Japan just win?
It did. Yeah, Shohei Ohtani just struck out Mike Trout.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
Mike Trout whiffed. He was like that far off on a 100-mile-per-hour pitch right down the middle.
Yeah.
That would have been gone.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Go ahead, Rhett.
Yes.
All right. Back to how many people are in the.
Well, yeah. I mean, let's just. But I just want to say they it's like they didn't do they didn't do the math right on it. So,
possibly.
So you've got this Coruscant thing. It's relatively unchanged from the war. That's fine. That you kind of expect that.
Yeah.
They have this re-education process.
Amnesty.
No, it's re-education. I mean, they call it a re-education camp or something, right? They've stripped them of their identities. They're only
numbers.
Numbers.
You know, like
that's why I'm saying it feels very totalitarian
like
to me.
Stormtroopers, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, there are people who they send away to camps. They refer to them by number.
Right.
Wow, gosh, they wear a little badge that tells you they're
right.
You know,
it's at the very least an internment camp.
Right.
At the very least. Yeah.
Or a little touch of concentration camp, like it's a touch of.
Well, they were the enemy, though, right? They were the.
Look at the.
Now wait a minute, Earl.
Star of David kind of stuff on there. Okay, so nobody expected that from the New Republic,
right?
We didn't want that. You think of Leia, coming out of the original trilogy as you expect her to be in some leadership role.
Exactly.
To be in some leadership position. So you would not expect that sort of behavior from the New Republic. I do find that interesting. I don't. Are they self-aware? Do the writers know where they're taking that story? I hope so.
Do they realize
I mean,
just nonchalantly throwing stuff in there like, oh, that'll be cool. Then that's a disaster.
I don't understand like the choice to go that far with it like they have. I mean, because
that's not the way the Republic.
It's too like real world. It's like too close to.
It's too on the nose. It's too on the nose. Is what it is.
Yeah, real world on noise. Yeah.
So anyway, So I've got some more thoughts on that, but chronologically, I think we're to this point where we kind of see Dr. Pershing. He's talking about doing his he wants
TED
to do his technology or his research.
So let's talk about the research part of it because there are some interesting things there about combining DNAs.
You have another Mexican soda?
I got another one waiting over here. This one is mango. This one's guava. I'm going to go through all three of them before I finish.
To respond to Brian real quick. Mea culpa, mea maxima culpa.
Yes.
What?
Just speaking some Latin. Don't worry about
it. I don't know.
We're not Catholic. We don't understand what that means.
Yeah.
Let's see. No telling what the Empire did to them to indoctrinate. Well, okay, Ted. I mean, so Ted's
a New Republic
apologist. Ted's a New Republic apologist.
Hey, listen, they were the enemy. We've got to amnesty. We're gonna. Hey, guys, it's a fresh start. We're going to erase your identity.
I don't know. I still don't know how I feel about it.
I'm going to go into Coruscant, and I am going to drain the swamp. The bureaucracies will all be gone.
This idea that the Imperials were brainwashed, I don't think that's true. I think they thought they were the good guys. That's what you see in Andor, and that's how I always imagined it was that no evil entity out there thinks they're an evil entity. They all think they're the good guys.
Well, why would he get a big audience and a big opportunity to talk in front of all those people?
And then be sent back to where he's just a number.
Because he's a scientist that is doing research that is intriguing to everyone, I think.
Okay, the rich people might want
doing research.
Get the club.
He's trying to get to that point. He's trying to get them to help him get back to doing the research. So they're letting him talk about it, and he's hoping that he's going to.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. They should not have that. That's a disconnect from how he's treated. How you're restricted to this place here. You're a number. You've got
and the job he has currently.
With your parole officer every day. You go to this mundane job. How he got a TED talk before in the same arena where the Chancellor and Anakin called the fish ladies. I don't know how any of that works. It's a disconnect from the way they treat him, and why would the reason they did it is a contrivance because the writers needed to establish his research, and rather than have him look at a recording of himself alone in his apartment, they did this audience setting, and they didn't think about how that disconnects from the treatment that he gets later on.
Right.
It's just contrived crap. That's why they did it. It feels wrong because it is wrong.
That's fair.
So there's so many different Trump jokes I could make with this.
There's it's like too convenient. It's very convenient. It's just convenient.
Sleepy Mon letting all this stuff go through. Sleepy Mon Mothma.
Sleepy Mon Mothma.
POS Palpatine before her. Valorium Valorum before him.
I love it. I love it.
This cloning should not be a public thing. A private company should be in charge of this cloning.
That's right.
It should be, and it's weird that they're not. Like
it is weird that they're not.
All those rich people are interested in this guy Pershing because they want to be cloned and live forever, right? They want to. They want to
or
find
something.
A way.
I mean, that's like 1%ers always want to do the crazy stuff.
They're suckers, and
that's true.
They were all very intrigued by they all.
Yeah. Vacuous, they're disconnected from reality. I mean, they are. That's the whole.
No, they are. That's the purpose of their.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get it.
And
exactly.
Yeah, that's all that is.
It
the Coruscant elite.
It is frustrating to imagine that our heroes worked so hard to defeat the Empire for it to end up like this. I mean, this type of New Republic, it doesn't feel much different to me than the Empire if they're having amnesty camps and making people
amnesty
basically
sounds friendly. It sounds
you
friendly.
You have to reintegrate. I mean, it's interesting to me that they are approaching the subject of reintegrating all the Imperial, what's-its and all.
It's like taking all the Nazi scientists to get to space.
Yeah, Operation Paperclip.
Hey man, I met a lot of those Germans up in Huntsville.
We got a civic center named after one.
Von Braun.
Very cool.
I met his widow.
Yeah. So I mean, look, they got us to the moon, but
they did. No, they did.
I know.
We've got rockets up in Huntsville now because of it.
That's not a bad thing to show us and to discuss. I think it's out of place in Mandalorian. And somebody in the chat said earlier that they thought maybe this was a Rangers storyline.
Right, they did. Yeah.
I don't know if it is or not, but it doesn't feel like Mandalorian. It feels like it came from something else. People said, "Oh, it felt like Andor." It did not feel like Andor to me. It was
like a Ranger story.
Boy, imagine Cara Dune in this, where
I don't see where she's
part of the oppressive government.
Yeah, so but it does feel like it's from a different show, like this diversion, like when Boba Fett went into a full-on Mandalorian episode.
Right.
That's what this felt like, except less well done. And so
I think they're trying really too hard to tie everything together.
This is going to lead all the way up into
because they're wanting it to lead to different shows. They're trying too hard to.
Well, They mentioned the word cast and they mentioned the word strand. They didn't put them together, but that's obviously strand cast reference, and that's how you get Snoke, and
that's how you
somehow Palpatine returns, and and all of that crap. So it's definitely a tie-in to that, which we've seen some of in Mandalorian already with some of the cloning facilities that Gideon was running. I mean, the fact that they were working on Grogu to begin with is evidence of
the rise of Snoke. Leader.
I mean, and that's they're wanting to create something. Obviously, they had Grogu. The Empire had Grogu at some point, and they want to use his DNA, or he could be the result of this DNA splicing or whatever.
Yeah, they didn't have him for long.
They didn't have him for long, but they had him.
Yeah, but I mean,
we don't know how long.
We may have had him.
Yeah, they had him before the show. They had him before.
No, they didn't.
They did.
No,
they did.
I think
they didn't.
Wait.
He went and got him. There were a bunch of Niktos or Baratas or whatever that were guarding him in the middle of the desert.
We don't know where he was before that.
Okay, we don't know.
Warlord, right?
I thought that
nobody's ever indicated that he was in the Empire's hands prior to that.
I assumed that he was. Maybe that was a bad assumption.
Made that up.
I mean, I thought that the
I want
Empire
to see the baby.
Rhett knows he's drinking Mexican soda, man. Come
because
on.
why
tells
would
you what you need to know?
No. Let's unpack this. Why would Gideon even know?
It's got
about
some
Grogu?
ayahuasca.
Gideon didn't know about him. The other guy knew about him.
but he was working for Gideon.
Oh, okay.
I want to see the baby.
Yeah, Werner Herzog was.
He hadn't seen the baby. He wanted to see the baby. The Empire did not.
Well, they had a hot tip that the baby was somewhere held by these warlords, right?
I thought he had him before.
They never fleshed out why the warlords had him, but they also never indicated that the Empire had him prior. He clearly escaped from the temple, right?
Well, yeah, but there's a lot of years between
20, 25 or.
But I thought that he had been captured because he was brainwashed. Like his brain was wiped.
What if Yaddle was pregnant with him?
No, it wasn't. His brain, what are you talking about? His brain.
Wait, whose brain was wiped?
Grogu couldn't remember anything. Like
what?
He had blocked it out. Also, he's an infant
because he's traumatized. He blocked it out because he was traumatized because the Empire.
You don't know how many times he's changed hands, but there was never any indication that the Empire had him.
That'll be the next series.
I need that story. I need to know.
We might not have to wait very long. I think there's been some indicators from Grief Karga that this next episode is going to be something about the child.
Grief
30-minute episode that they're dropping.
Yeah, he told me it on Twitter. What's his name?
Yeah. No, he did.
He's directing it.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about Weathers. Okay.
Yes, Carl Weathers. Yes.
Okay, Ted. Let's see what Ted says here. I could see this tying into the sequel trilogy, but I could also see it leading into a new take of the Thrawn story.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of people
Thrawn's
going to
be in Ahsoka. I mean, I think. Don't you?
I think that they want to do the Thrawn trilogy in their way.
Thought out there.
No, I said it earlier. Yaddle, we're going to have a whole story of Yaddle pregnant coming and giving birth to Grogu.
Yeah, because there was a ton of
voiced by Bryce Dallas Howard.
Wait, why do we think? I can't tell, Earl, if you're being serious.
He's not being serious about Yaddle.
It makes perfect sense. Bryce Dallas Howard directed multiple episodes of the series. She voiced Yaddle.
No, they don't take the babies from the Jedi. The Jedi don't get to do any of that stuff unless you're grabbing out a DK book and you say that what's the guy with the pointy head? He got to do it because
Kayamandi.
He's got to have a family or whatever. But they take these babies from wherever they are, right? Out in the galaxy.
Sure.
They're not crapping them out in the temple floor. Be like, go ahead and put this Padawan in
like a breeding farm, a Yaddle breeding farm.
They're not breeding.
Red describes the beauty of birth. They're crapping out this product here.
I don't know anything about you, buddy. I don't know women.
The butt baby.
Oh my gosh!
Stop it.
Pretty good SNL sketch.
But what if there was forbidden love in the temple with Yoda?
Okay, we're done with that. We're done with the
That's just some weird fan fiction stuff. You got to put Roll 34 afterwards.
No, I think the Empire did have Grogu.
Grogu was a former stormtrooper.
No, I didn't say that. They obviously knew they wanted to. They knew
kind of short for a stormtrooper.
They knew of his existence. Rhett's frozen, but they knew of Grogu's existence. They did.
I am in agreement that they knew of his existence.
I don't
would
know
not
if
be
they had
surprised
him.
They were looking for him.
Yeah, I mean, they wanted to experiment on the little guy for this DNA thing that they're wanting to mess around with.
And we know from the original trailer for this season, we saw a scene where they had guys lighting their lightsabers, right? So that you might be right that this next episode is going to tell us what happened to Grogu.
Yeah, because generally they don't. Those trailers are first half of the season, and
is Rhett still frozen?
Nothing from the he's back now. Okay. Usually the trailers are first half of the season, and with nothing from the second half of the season. That's a Filoni thing. That's kind of he doesn't like to reveal anything after the first 4 episodes or whatever.
Well, that's a Disney Marvel thing too. I don't think they.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure on that, but So let's talk about Grief Karga's, not Grief Karga. I'm sorry, Gideon's person.
Dr. Pershing.
No, I'm talking about the person on the inside who is manipulating Dr. Pershing.
Oh,
Elia Kane.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, we after the fact found out that she was the actress that was in the new Ant-Man movie. She's
Zathura.
The warrior princess. Yeah, a little bit better than that.
Well, so look, she's there. There's a scene at the beginning where he's speaking at that with his big head, the big holograph head, and she looks over at an older dude, and you can tell like they're just like that's the one or something. You know, there's something there.
Oh well, no, she knows.
She's playing him. Yeah,
she's totally playing him this whole thing. Now I think she does want the equipment that he ends up with. I mean, because she quietly takes that equipment with her. Yeah, she's either a double or even a triple agent. I mean, some people are speculating that she's Thrawn's agent as well.
I would say Gideon's.
Oh no, I think she's definitely Gideon's for sure.
Yeah, no, Gideon's first, but then even beyond that, some people are thinking that she's Thrawn's.
People are obsessed with Thrawn.
It's Gideon. You do
Thrawn
in the Ahsoka show.
I'm telling you,
you set up the Ahsoka show already.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to set up the Ahsoka show anymore. It already set. If that's what they're doing, then it's worse for Mandalorian. Okay,
I agree with that.
But they've got to tie it all together.
They don't. It is tied together. Ahsoka has been there. Now go do her own show and have Thrawn there. You don't need Thrawn here. It's Gideon. It's Gideon. It's Moff Gideon.
For sure.
That's how decent writing works. That's what.
We've established though that they struggle with that.
Well, they do.
Lars Mikkelsen is really saying that he's not Thrawn, but I really think he is. I mean, who else would you get to be Thrawn other than the guy that voiced him in Rebels? I mean,
Well, yeah, I mean, they don't necessarily. The people who does the voice doesn't always do it. I mean, they ask
Ashley.
But the thing with this is,
well, she'll say she is.
Kind of looks
like
she's not.
She was. She started as an on-screen actress.
Okay, so what?
Sure,
She
in
is
a
not
Disney show.
Rosario Dawson.
Wasn't she in Jim Belushi's sitcom or something like that?
Wait, who are we talking about? Ashley.
No, she was in some show on Disney Channel.
Doesn't matter. She's not it doesn't matter. That's not her forte. Okay, the people who were upset about that.
I disagree, but okay, we don't have to argue that point anymore.
Master. Are we talking about Ashley?
Yeah. So
she's a natural.
All right. So first of all, we had a lot of walking around again. This show is like
how else do you want
rings of walking around?
Thumbs days, am I right, or whatever they said? Thumbs days, or
Tongs day. Yeah.
That was
Bindu day.
That stuff's on the note. Well, that was first. Yeah, Bindu day. Like all these things that. Oh, I know that. I heard that and I clapped. You know that kind of stuff. I can't do all of that.
It's nice that this isn't directed at me this week. It's nice to be on Rhett's side.
Yes. So
we're just neutral.
So there's a lot of and then the train stuff. Listen, that is the
the ice
cliche.
The ice pop.
The ice pop thing was stupid, but
what adults walk around with popsicles
you don't know Coruscant. You don't know their rules, man.
It's so obvious. It's not great CGI. It's so they didn't change. Like it's so obviously a green stick.
Hey, it's melting on you, and it's just not melting on them.
It's just it was dumb. It didn't have to be future popsicles. Like it could have just been a popsicle, you know.
Or how about like something besides a popsicle?
Maybe it was a corn dog. Was it a corn dog?
But So this train business, that's the stupidest. Oh no, we don't have our tickets. Here we come, and now you've got an exciting chase through the train. That's
I actually enjoyed that part, but
no ticket.
To me, that felt like a Hitchcockian moment of like they're running.
It's done in every movie with a train.
Well, sure. That's what made it. And the music was good. It was just.
Oh yeah. The music was okay during that part.
Like there was an intrigue to me, like. Does this girl really like him? But then she's.
But it's like it's a ticket taking robot, and they're all like, "Oh, we got to get out of here!" Like that's not tension. that is manufactured silliness. It
would have been better to have like people chasing him.
Then they jump out of a moving train, and just so happens. Here's the one pallet of
it was slowing down
and all of Coruscant that they land on. You know,
it was slowing down.
They did jump as the air brake thing hit, so I was like, okay, well,
I was okay with that.
Convincing,
the momentum would have.
They were going to touch the mountain of the top of the mountain of.
The highest point in Coruscant, so you're on level. Yeah, but it had all been worn down. like that's not necessarily very high. I don't know what level they're on. I don't think they said, but that's
They're
not
at the
necessarily
top,
a very high point. It's just the highest point on Coruscant. The mountains have been worn down over the millennia to nothing. That that's
the only
canon.
Earth left. Yeah,
that's the canon, I think. But anyway, so that train crap was stupid. Then you come to these Star Destroyers where they're trying to, first of all, security on Coruscant, not great.
No, it's not great.
They can just walk on a Star Destroyer.
Have left their camp that they're sequestered in without anybody asking any questions. And then to get on the train, hey, you just stick your foot in the turnstile. No problem. There's not a police droid checking just hack.
Or like, how about one of those like
it's fine. It's
a laser array. You're in Star Wars. You don't need. That was the equivalent of somebody in New York jumping the turnstile.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah. I know, but it was like, it's silly. Okay, it's just silly
They're
stuff.
It's
not an adult show, and if it doesn't want to be an adult show, that's fine. But it isn't. Okay. And then, so they go to the Star Destroyer because he wants his equipment. Apparently, the only place you can get test tubes in a Bunsen burner are on Star Destroyers. Okay,
I'm sure there was more than that.
It was his kid. It was his
one little suitcase full of stuff. I mean, it can't be that complicated. Okay,
that's all you need. The only place you can get
science, Michael.
It's only on an old Star Destroyer. Nobody had already cataloged that information.
Well, they weren't doing the New Republic wasn't messing around with cloning. They didn't have any of that stuff. Of course, it's on the Star Destroyer.
Why are there no guards? It's deactivated. Oh, okay. Well, let's turn all the lights on. Let's open all the doors. It's not.
Hey, it all works. Let's fire this thing up.
Ray was salvaging this thing on Jakku that had been there for 20 years, and she's still pulling crap off of it.
Right.
And they're just letting these things lay around in the middle of downtown. So,
it was Gideon's. Yeah, that was one of Gideon's ships, or that was his main ship or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, was it? I mean, how convenient that was. Holy crap.
Well, that makes sense if they're
that.
I guess they just got it. They just got it back when
because they're on Gideon's ship at the end of season 2.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There's 3 of them.
Sense.
And Luke leaves.
Yeah.
So now they've got to, I guess they fly it back. Cara Dune
pilots it back.
returned with it, right?
The new Rangers brought it back.
Yeah, the Rangers.
That's fine. Okay.
Gina Carano and the Canadian TV star.
Great. Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and then like just the lack of any security, that's stupid. And then
some blue guys that came with guns, right?
Here's what I don't understand. Here's where I don't understand what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
She set him up, I guess.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
To do that.
Yes.
What end? What
to get rid of him?
Apparently to wipe his mind.
She wants him off, or Gideon wants him off the table completely.
Okay, so I have one question about this. Now, I will preface this by saying I saw this in a Facebook group, but they said some of the dialogue from Gina Carano in that season 1 finale. She said they're going to upload us to a mind flare. Okay. Why does she say upload us? Is his mind like now in that thing and like in like some computer database thing? Could that be where they're going with it? And now Gideon can access that information.
They don't need him. They just need his.
Does Star Wars do anything that subtle? Would they make a remark about uploading? I'm serious.
Sure they did.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's
a brain 2 or 3 years ago, and then expect anybody to think, "Oh, he's having his brain uploaded there." When they indicated nothing of the sort there. It was very much to almost like a lobotomy, right? We're gonna.
Well, a low-level lobotomy. We're going to clean out the cobwebs.
If your machine, we don't. This one's dumbed down. We don't use it. It's not. This isn't the mind flayer. This is a low power. Why does it go to?
That's an unfortunate.
Anyway,
why does it go all the way up to 11? Is I think the question.
Like, why would disable the thing that can? Oh crap!
Well, his voice is coming from.
Why do you have it? Why is it able to do that? Like, why can't it fry someone's brain? And if you just walk out of the room with a like,
is my internet
none
down
of it
now?
made any sense.
Yeah, I mean, Brian's got kind of like saying the same thing in so many words. There's no reason for her to take him to the ship other than to get him reflayed. But if they flay him, then he will have no value to the Republic's cloning cure. But I don't think the Republic really, those are the rich people that maybe, I don't think the New Republic government cares about cloning. I don't think they want any of it.
He wasn't going to start his research back until she goaded him into it.
Right.
Which got him arrested.
Right. It's all part of the plan.
It's also made a point earlier that we don't really need to bring up, but it was a salient point. It was about Michigan governors and other stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
What? Michigan governor? I didn't see that.
Missed the Michigan. How far up is that? I missed
it's a little ways up.
Okay.
We're going to talk about. Let's not talk about Whitmer. Let's talk about Tudor Dixon.
Yeah, I'm sure you want to talk about it.
It's a couple scrolls up. Right before Matt Mink said Cara Dune shot it.
Okay, let's see if I did. Good grief. I'm
acting like our own FBI. Yeah.
Okay, they're acting like our own FBI. Okay, yeah. That's too far up. I can't find it.
Well,
yeah, I mean, this is what I kind of think too. Like, I think just it's very simple that Gideon just wants him out of the way, and that's been the instructions. I think that's as simple as it. They don't ever do anything that's too complicated with these shows. I think it's just he wants him out of the way, so he's going to be out of the way, and this is how they went about doing it. Very convoluted, but this is how they went. Yeah.
He was out of the way already. He wasn't in the way.
No, but he knows too much.
They wanted to take his memories.
They want him like gone. They want his mind wiped. They want him dumbed down.
Yes,
I mean,
I guess, but okay.
Maybe they'll explain that further later on. But I mean, hoping they will.
Star Wars isn't that way though. That's what I'm saying. Like when you don't get explanations for it pretty quickly, that means that they didn't have one, and then it gets retconned later, right? And that's my concern here is that it doesn't make sense, and it just isn't going to. Maybe it will, but that's not the direction Star Wars has been going, where they introduce something then explain it later. It's all pretty surface level at this point.
Just give me the green guy. I just want that little Grogu.
Just want the baby. Give me the baby.
Show me the baby.
Show me the child. Earl's just Werner Herzog.
Yeah,
I want the baby.
Earl wants the baby. Anyway, I at least I had something to talk about in this episode. It's interesting to me how the New Republic looks. They're idiots. Walking out of the room with the Akbar looking thing walking out and letting everybody just flay his mind without any oversight.
She's like, oh, it's different now. It's different now.
Yeah.
Well, it's just also
no, it was the technician. Also, the technician was like, "Sure, I'll let you hang out in here."
He's like, "Oh, can I hang out here? Sure."
Even though you're in the amnesty program, sure, yeah, you can hang out.
Fries.
The robot doctor psychiatrist was awful.
Yes.
Well, that was very THX 1138 because there's a whole scene where it's like, how are you feeling?
Blade Runner 2049 with
I had that too.
Was much better.
But if they would have gone in the direction of like the robot could like read your like body language and know if you were telling the truth or not, but it seemed like it was just listening for the correct dialogue back.
Thank you.
Which is
you were a good servant of the Republic.
It's not a good picture of the New Republic. Like, and this is Coruscant. Like I think things should probably be better there. I mean, I would expect things to be better than out in the far-flung reaches. But it's not, and that's a bad look. And maybe that's the intent. Maybe they're going to really lean into that. Maybe that'll be
maybe that's why Hosnian Prime becomes a
show. But I don't like that direction, and it's just just chiseling away at my interest in the story. Slowly but surely, I am less interested as I go, and that's not on me. I mean,
it makes our original heroes look incompetent.
Correct. Yeah. Like the whole thing was I mean, the sequels already undid so much of what they did, right? I mean, it just now it's 20 something, 30 years later, and we're just doing the same thing over again, you know. Is there a lesson to be learned there? Did they mean to do that to say something about humanity and how we're trapped in, you know, history repeating itself? It never gets better. This is are they nihilists who are trying to just make us see the folly of existence? I don't think so. I don't think that's what Star Wars is. I
mean, like Ted, maybe that's why they all left the New Republic, like Leia and Han. They all, because they were all just a bunch of idiots. And
I think this really, you talk about setting things. I don't think they have to set Thrawn up here, but there does seem to be a bit of a mandate to tie into the sequel trilogy and to.
They've
already said it.
They're not going to get rid, as much as everybody would want them to. They're not going to get rid of the sequel trilogy. They're going to retcon it.
If you're doing that, if you want to show how the New Republic was a failure, it was no good. It was just as bad as anything else. So you do get, you wondered.
I like what Matt said.
They always called they were called the resistance. Well, what were they resisting? Like, were they on whose side were they on? You know,
pushing to the Borgullet.
Borgullet knows the truth.
Anyway, that's all I got. I'm tired of talking about Mandalorian.
No, Rhett, you're right.
So what was at the very end of the episode?
What are we resisting? What are we?
We go back to the Mandalorian again.
That's the covert.
And
that's just
that's when they land on the covert planet.
That's when Bo-Katan receives her. You are now restored.
Yes, and Grogu's so excited.
Have you taken your helmet off since you bathed in the waters of the mines of Mandalore beneath the blah blah blah.
He could have just gotten some water out of the. He said, "Oh yeah, this is from the mines of Mandalore. Yeah, that's it. I got baptized."
Well, she tested the water. I mean, Armor tested the water, and
she poured it in the thing.
It obviously has some chemical properties that is Star Wars fantasy nonsense that makes it a different color.
I had forgotten that factor. Thank you, sir. I had forgotten about that.
To prove it, but I'm sorry.
She tested the pH level. She's like, the pH level of that water is consistent with the pH levels of Mandalore.
Yeah. I like their diligence. They did their due diligence.
This is definitely waters of Mandalore, and I can keep my placostomus in it. She said. Tested that pH. Aquarium shout out.
That's right.
Anyway, I'm tired of talking about Mandalorian. You guys carry on.
No, I think we're done. We talked about.
Well, what else to talk about? The perils of
talk about all the things that you love about it and that made you clap.
Oh, stop!
The beginning and the end, the actual
beginning and the end
stuff.
I love the. Hey, look! I loved when she turned her ship around. She flipped that thing up.
Top Gun move. That's a Top Gun move. I'm splitting the throttles. That's absolute F-14 Top Gun move.
Yeah,
it doesn't work on F-14s. I'll go ahead and tell you that. Right now. That's some bull crap.
But luckily, it works on
her. Yeah.
It works in space fantasy.
This one is much more believable.
This was much more believable. Exactly.
But that was total Top Gun move.
Yeah, and it was awesome. Like that beginning and end stuff is what I'm at Mandalorian for.
The stuff I was more interested in. I mean, this Pershing stuff is just like, I don't know. It felt disjointed. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing.
They should have found a way to integrate the stories better. Have a reason for some character that we know directly tied to Mandalorian to be on Coruscant to see this. I mean, there's got to be, you've got to, and if you can't do it, then don't do it. Right.
And see, that would have been a good role for somebody like a Cara Dune to be on that planet.
Yeah.
And something going on. That would have been a good story.
Overseeing some of that. Maybe she gets schooled by Elias, whatever. You could have tied it together better, but they didn't
even the episode's titled The Convert, right? They're both converts. Bo-Katan and Dr. Pershing. Both converts to the New Republic, to the Way.
Right.
Have that story interweave together and maybe flesh out some of the Bo-Katan stuff and less of the Pershing stuff, and don't just tell the full massive story of Pershing in one whole.
I mean, the problem is we haven't seen Pershing since the season 1. I mean, so not every
No. He was in season 2 briefly. He was in season 2 briefly.
Maybe
he was.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. That's
Yeah,
right. Okay,
he was there.
but still, I
He
don't
was
think
in
he
a
was
shuttle doing
ever.
something. I can't remember what.
He
but
was
in a
never
shuttle.
brought to the front that people would say, "Oh yeah, that's
like and show it where like Bo-Katan is like accepted by these people and she's not mind flayed, and like juxtapose it that way, and maybe that's an interesting story to tell, and it keeps the audiences.
You've got A and B stories, right?
Yeah.
Or you think of the end of Phantom Menace, where you're cutting between the 3-way fight on Naboo, the Gungan battle, and the space battle all at once. And I think maybe
that's a great.
You had Padme going as well. Her little thing too. You had all these intercut stories, and it was I remember. I think it was too much for Lucas. Like he said, this is a mess. Like when he was trying to cut all those
edits
together, it was a struggle, right? But it can be done, and we're only talking about 2 stories.
Return of the Jedi.
Yeah,
Luke, Vader, Endor.
So it felt like it was directed by someone else. Like
it was directed by the guy who did Minari.
Yeah, it was the Minari guy.
Well, I mean the segment, the Coruscant.
You're talking about the different segments.
They felt just so tonally different that it was a totally different show. And you don't have to do that. It takes me out of.
Oh, really? I didn't think about that.
I love Ross' idea of show that juxtaposition. The convert applied to both of them. Weave the story together, and it makes them feel like it's incompetent. And it's like it's a children's show that just has to be so up and down and by the number. Like you just can't. There's no nuance to it. There's no trust in the audience to put pieces together without them just being fed to you like you're an idiot. And
I would be willing to bet that when did Mando go to that planet? Was that episode 1 or 2? For the first time to see, was that 1 where he went to the baptism? That was 1. Yeah. Whoever did episode 1, I'd almost be willing to bet that they directed Rick Famuyiwa. He's also an executive producer. He probably directed both the bookends.
I thought the bookends were probably directed by someone else, and
I bet
maybe they were part of different episodes. Like they cut all these episodes together differently. That maybe they were filmed as part of episode 2 or whatever. Or 3, I don't know how.
Yeah, because it's like they're cutting them weird too, and they're not taking any care in the length of any of the episodes. Like there's no consistency,
which is fine with me, by the way.
Yeah, I don't mind.
I like having make it 44 minutes, 59. I mean, don't give us like a 58-minute episode, then a 30-minute episode.
Well, I don't mind that at all. If you have a coherent story, just give me the story. But this one felt long because of those 2 bookends. And the next episode's very short. It's the shortest of the series so far. Right. Maybe they took them from that episode, the bookends.
Maybe.
I don't know. But yeah, I don't. The length of the episode is totally irrelevant to me.
Yeah, with the Acolyte, they've already said that they're going to make each episode an hour long.
Well, that's not good storytelling either. Like if you restrict yourself to that, it's like preaching.
Well, that's what they do on TV.
That's what they do on regular TV.
I'm inspired to say more, right? Just put this arbitrary time limit on it. It's not. The beauty of this streaming.
Well, no, they've already shot.
Not subject to that anymore. It's not network TV.
That's a fantastic point. Like take podcasts versus like a corporate podcast from CBS Sports. Yeah, they have a pretty strict mandate. Hey, you got to keep this thing. Your fantasy football podcast can't be longer than an hour. If it is, we're cutting that off, and nobody's going to listen to it. But then you look at the successful podcasts like Joe Rogan, Pardon My Take. They're 3 hours long. Yeah. Some of them could be 5 hours long. Some of them could be an hour and a half.
5.
But that's just
Earl's
those are the successful ones, the ones that are still trying to.
I need my 30-minute short now.
It's an arbitrary limit, unless they're trying to sell it into syndication, right? Which maybe they are. I mean, there has been talk of them moving some of the properties out of Disney and onto other platforms.
They need some money.
So maybe that's it. But if it's not it, then it's arbitrary. Then that is a silly restriction to place on there.
Okay, so I don't mean it necessarily in that way. I just don't like the feel of it. I don't like getting used to an hour-long episode of television and then only being given 30 minutes the next episode. It feels like you're getting less that way. I mean, you obviously are.
If it's good, I don't feel the time, no matter how much it is. Like if I'm satisfied at the end of it.
Every time that they've had a super short episode, I've said, "Oh, that was super short." So you do feel it. I mean, you feel like it's way shorter.
See, I don't feel it personally.
Yeah, I thought the She-Hulk episodes were too long.
You didn't want them to be on at all, though.
Well, Michael, I was a minute in, and I'm like, has this been on for 2 days?
And you're still only 5 minutes into the episode.
Right.
I personally don't see length. That's just not something that goes.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. That's fair.
He only feels length. Hey, sorry. Whoa.
Look, Dad makes a good point. He says 5 hours. Are we talking about Indian movies? I didn't watch RRR. I felt
that was a long movie. I haven't watched it for that very reason.
It was awesome.
Whereas
was awesome.
I want John Wick 4 to be 5 hours. I want
no.
Guys, in RRR, one of the characters throws a panther at another character. It's awesome. It's like the ultimate dude's rock movie.
It's the craziest. I enjoy it. Like I was engaged in it the whole time, but it is like not like American movies. Like it is ridiculous. But I like it. Like it's a nice change of pace. And,
Michael refuses to watch it.
I just don't have 3 hours that I'm going to sit and watch that.
I mean, that kind of time.
You have 3 hours for John Wick.
That's because John Wick's American.
There we go.
He's been wicked.
I've been wicked. Yeah, that's right.
The Baba Yaga.
Wick me. All right, I think we're done. I don't want to. We could keep going for 3 hours, but we're not red letter.
I can't do
that. No, they don't do that. They only do that on those those Mr. Plinkett reviews.
I know.
I guess one thing I want to ask is everybody agrees with me now that Mandalorian sucks. Is that what I'm getting?
This episode was weaker.
Not my favorite.
The part on Coruscant was weaker. It could redeem it.
It was like a double indemnity. It was kind of like
it was not that deep, Earl. It was not.
It was like Hitchcockian. The level.
No, it was not Hitchcockian at all. Oh my gosh.
What's the lowest rated episode? I think right behind the Gunslinger.
7.2.
It's pretty low, yeah. And the Bad Batch episode was like 6.7 for Pabu. It was really low.
I didn't think Pabu was that bad.
I didn't think Pabu was that bad, but it certainly was like it didn't feel like it mattered at all to anything. So maybe that's
and listen, I think if this episode got a 7.2, then probably all of the episodes are inflated a little bit. This is a solid 6 for me.
Yeah, because Chapter 2 got an 8.4, Chapter 1 got a 7.5.
Well, I mean, the season finale of season 2 was a 9.8, I think. And look, that's just because that's a pretty good episode, but there ain't nothing about Star Wars at 9.8.
That's a Luke Skywalker fanboys going in there.
That episode was awesome. I don't want to hear this.
I love it. Yeah, I don't want to hear it.
End the show. The Gunslinger is the second lowest rated episodes at a 7.5, as well as the premiere season 3.
I didn't remember it being that terrible.
That
was back when Mandalorian was a lot more episodic. And maybe that's hurting it now too. I kind of like that episodic feel. Almost, that probably talked about it before, like an X-Files, where there is this overarching story, but they're episodes, right?
Yeah.
You cover a lot of that with the B-roll and stuff like that. But anyway.
All right, Roth, where can people find you on the internet?
Yep, Roth from Wyoming on the Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd. You can follow my sports betting on that website. On the Twitter website.
On the Twitter website,
posting some picks and whatnot because it's sports season, March Madness. Best sport to bet on is college basketball.
If I knew how to gamble, I probably would, but I don't know how to do any of it. So
it's a blast, and I have a super low unit number, so I'm not betting with that.
I don't know what you're talking about there, dude. But
$5 bets is what
$5 bets. Yeah. That's a low.
So what's the
unit
payout? So when you win, when your team covers, what's the payout on a $5 bet?
If it's just like an even odds minus 110, I pretty much double my money, a little less than double.
I'm gonna start sending him $100 a week and just let him go crazy with it.
there are, I put bets in for people across the country of my friends. And actually, it is not illegal.
No, yeah, right. It's
in
not.
Alabama.
No, I'm not betting. I'm giving him. I'm PayPal
I
him.
know, but I don't
It's
know.
not. It's not.
It's the same as telling a friend, "Hey, when you're in Vegas, put this bet in for me."
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I might get with you on that.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, Rhett loves wasting money, so
it's the best. It's my favorite pastime too. Good Day for a Movie Podcast is the podcast.
Yes.
Loving Vincent. If you want some more sports talk,
I'm excited about Donnie Brasco.
Yep, Donnie Brasco's up next.
Oh, wow.
I'm excited to see.
I need to see that.
I don't know if I'm excited to hear what Sage has to say about it, but if he's even going to be on the episode. He seemed very stressed out and busy.
Yes, he
life
seems that
way.
way.
Life has hit him hard recently.
Yes.
It seems like. Okay.
Yes.
Well.
Yeah. Donnie Brasco up next. I'm excited to watch that. We're going to review it tomorrow night. Probably going to watch it tonight, actually.
Cool.
So yeah.
It's worth watching for sure. Dr. Earl is off the grid. He can occasionally be found in the Deuce Court and the Pretentious Corner, but even lately,
I've been mind flayed.
He's been mind flayed.
Can't really.
He's been Earl flayed.
Earl flayed. That's right.
Rhett, where can people find you on the internet?
No, I don't have anything witty to say this time.
Oh, come on.
I had a migraine yesterday. I haven't recovered off of it. My brain doesn't work yet.
Rhett can be found at www.starwarspopsicle.com.
Oh my gosh. Glowing StarWarsPopsicle.com /purple or /red.
Oh, man. Okay, that's fine. I'm mostly hanging out in the Deucecord. That's our Discord channel. If you want to be on there, you can DM us on the Twitter or the Facebook, or you can email us at the deucecast@gmail.com. We will be back next week to talk about the penultimate episode of Bad Batch, which is technically episode 13 of season
awesome.
2.
It'll
be great. It'll be fun. I think things are gonna, start ramping up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Anything is better than Pabu. I'll just say that.
Pabu wasn't that bad.
I'm just saying, like, as far as action, like something happening.
Okay.
Nothing happened on Pabu.
It was natural peril. I was worried for Omega and her friends. I wasn't worried
for any. Nobody's going to die in a cartoon.
I was concerned for them.
Which is maybe the problem. I don't know. And then we'll be back to talk about what chapter are we going to be on. Chapter 4, directed by apparently Carl Weathers. He's talking it up big, saying it's a big, important episode. Like, what else is the guy going to say? No, nobody go watch my episode.
Yep, this one.
Yeah, what else is he going to say?
Skip this one.
So ridiculous.
I directed it.
Everybody go see everyone, and I mean everyone, go see John Wick 4. Because I want it to make so much money. I want it to be ridiculously profitable for Lionsgate.
No,
I think John Wick's going to become my Top Gun Maverick for Craig.
You're just going to refuse to watch it.
It's stupid. It's unneeded and just pointless.
Earl has seen them all now.
I dove in. I watched this
He's
weekend,
all in.
2 and 3.
Yeah.
I will say,
big Lance Reddick.
I know.
Yeah,
Lance Reddick, dude. That's
R.I.P.,
sad.
baby.
I was watching some of the red carpet stuff, and it was the saddest thing. Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Like you just hit a home run.
Poor one. No. Ted.
If somebody died or I hit a home run. Either one.
Ted, he'll be back. He'll be back next week.
No,
he just needed to take.
He doesn't have a
off.
job. Don't worry about that.
He does, but he needed to take the night off. He'll be back. He assured me that he'll be back.
He's the youngest one. He should be able to do this. This is stupid.
It's okay. He's getting used to it. It's
disappointing, is what it is.
It's understandable.
I'm just kidding, Garrison.
Okay,
but if you're not here this week, next week it's not okay.
He'll be here next week for sure. I promise.
Are we doing a special John Wick episode? No.
No. We were going to do a special Shazam episode, but instead we're seeing John Wick on
Shazamly.
So
we can blame John Wick for ruining the Deucecast Extra.
Oh, Roth is mad about it. I know.
I really wasn't. I kept thinking back about it. That was 100% the Mississippi State basketball game.
Oh,
that reaction. that was all Mississippi State losing, not being able to play any offense whatsoever.
That's fair.
Especially now after seeing it, I'm like, we talked about it. For
yeah,
10 minutes,
we talked about it.
That would have been a 10-minute episode on Thursday.
Yeah, it's unremarkable, but it's fine.
It's fun. Yeah,
it's a fun movie.
All right. Well, I appreciate everybody hanging out on the chat. Who'd we have this week? We had Matt, we had Ted, we had Brian at some point. So yeah, I really appreciate you guys hanging out. It does make it a lot more fun for us. Garrison for 1 second to say something about Roth. Yeah, exactly.
And Earl.
So that Earl, will you and Earl? Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So see you guys next week for more Star Wars fun, and I hope everybody has a good rest of the week. Go see John Wick 4. Seriously, go see it, everyone.